we start over here?
We thought that your presentation was there was a clear idea and plot, and it was quick and snappy. We thought what you could have done better was add more pictures, add more imagery of the mise en scene, the location props, and yeah. And the question is, what is the age of the main character?
Yeah, it's around our age, 16.
And who is playing the character?
Safi.
Okay, so we like the title of the film. Great idea with the Snapchat. I think it's quite funny. I mean, probably you don't want to make it funny, but we like the idea because it connects with the teenage age, so it's good. And good research into sound. That was really good.
Things to improve on, putting the whole thing together, but we know that there were some technical difficulties, so we switched between them. Maybe include some more pictures, and the questions that we want to ask about, where is the storyboard?
Yeah, we have it in the storyboard.
Oh, we have one, but we couldn't upload the pictures up on the thingy.
And we would choose the handwritten, referring to the font that you wanted to choose, the handwritten one, because it relates to Seven, which is a thriller, and you're making a thriller movie.
Yeah.
So we like that one.
I like the sound that you chose, like natural sound. And I also like the fact that it wasn't long and you didn't have like irrelevant information, so it was like straight to the point. And what could have made it better if it was like, I feel like there wasn't much build up, like you kind of like have the plot in the title sequence, so it's not like letting the audience like think what could happen next, if that's what I'm trying to say. And you could have had like the storyboard but understand the technical difficulties. And the question is, like, how is the own clothes idea that you said is going to work? Like, so are you all just going to go in like with casual clothes?
Yeah, basically. Right. There's only 2 characters in the film, anyways.
I think that's going to work. Like,
obviously,
it might have like not a clash, but like it might not show what you're representing.
Okay, obviously, because she wants male attention, she's gonna have like tight clothing as well, to like attract the male gaze. Yeah.
And is your title sequence, is it like a narrative or a discrete? And what film influenced your choice?
As it said on the presentation, it was discreet, and the film Seven influenced us because like that's why we picked it. Yeah.
We thought that it was really good that you knew exactly where you were going to film, and like you showed where you were going to get your sound from. Things to improve, we'll probably add more images, but it's good. The question is, we actually don't know what happens in the title sequence. Like we're quite confused on that.
Safi, could you explain, please?
So in the title sequence, we're gonna show the girl, and we're gonna show like how her obsession is like progressing. So we're gonna show her writing in her diary, writing something that seems like she's documenting her mental state and things like that. We're probably gonna have some shots of the school and some shots of some boys that she likes, and maybe close-up shots of her face, because we really want to show her emotion and get that connection with the audience.
Okay, so as we spoke about before the break, there was quite a bit missing from the pitch. You know, I know you've had technical issues with certain things, but you've had quite a long time to resolve those. We factor in time for technical problems and then being able to resolve them and then give a full presentation like everybody else did. So just a few questions about some certain parts. In terms of the presentation of your pitch, you should really start with the treatment of your film, the kind of overview of the plot, and then break down what's going to happen. You went in straight with target audience, then went back to that. So in terms of structuring your presentation, you should really think about how you present your ideas in the best way. I too didn't quite understand exactly what we were going to see. I understood the film, but I didn't understand exactly what it is that we're going to see. I couldn't visualise it because there were no images at all in the presentation. So it was very, very difficult to really understand what it is that you're going to portray in terms of your characters. It is a good idea, from what I can gather, the discrete element of it, the fact that it's going to be discrete with titles over moving image, quite a Seven style. I don't understand, because you said we're going to see a girl Snapchatting while committing a murder. Is that what we're actually going to see? Okay.
The opening scene would be her, say, after she killed someone, they're taking a picture of it and sending it around to people just so she can show that she's like in control. Kind of. So
she's going to send a picture.
She'd send it around like anonymously, so just send it.
To who?
Just people. That could be in a school.
In her college.
But her Snapchat name could be something else to her real name, so they wouldn't know who it is, for example.
Okay, but they'll know they'll know the person that's been murdered, would they? Is it?
Yeah, they can know who's been murdered, but they wouldn't see who the murderer is, and neither would the audience, because they'd be in like a point of view.
Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to people?
But it's still leaves like a question in your head over what we're actually going to see after that. Like, is it just going to be that throughout, or is it going to be like another?
Because surely, if you take a Snapchat image of yourself murdering someone and send it round to your people in your school, and that gets reported to the police, and then like what? I don't.
It's anonymous. You won't see the girl's face.
But you see the person that she's killing, won't you?
Yeah. But it will only be the person. The person's dead already. He can't tell anyone else who killed him.
No, but I don't know.
Because it's getting sent like in the school, and like the teacher's gonna find out. So it'll be like quite. It's gonna like be so open. Like the teacher's gonna find out. So it'll be like crying. Like it'll be like a lot to cover. Like it's hard.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'm thinking. In terms of covering it up and having the rest of the film, I don't think I'm quite grasping. Yeah, I think it's just, I'm just trying to gather whether it's just me that's not getting it or whether it's... Okay, so yeah, you do need to clarify your idea, because remember, it is just the opening, so you need to leave room for the rest of the film to develop. And if this girl takes pictures of herself killing somebody and then sends it to the whole school, it's very difficult to see where the film goes from there. Thriller, it sounds more common to me. I mean, do you actually see the murder? Do you see blood and gore and stuff, or do you just...
You see the end of the murder at the beginning of the film, so after she's killed someone.
So what about the rest of the film? Would there be any blood and gore in the rest of the film?
I think it would be more suggestive, so you'd see the victims, but maybe traces of what would happen. We wouldn't explicitly see the blood. Okay,
because I'm just trying to make the distinction between horror and thriller. Sort of visual gore and horror, or whether it's all sort of plot-driven and psychological. Yeah, really disappointed to see no images whatsoever. So that, because that would really help people to visualise. The sound design was sort of good though. You sort of went through a few examples of what you could possibly use, but there was no kind of decision like we had with this group where they were like, right, this is what we're going to use, this is what we have in mind. I didn't have a clue about what you had in mind. All it told me is where you're going to go to look for your music. But it was good though, you did play some examples, so that was nice. Target audience was very, very brief. Two things finally. So you're talking about, I think, was it you that was talking about if you're going to wear your own clothes? Because you sort of said the characters are going to wear their own clothing to show the individuality. Is that you as the actor?
Yeah.
But you're meant to be portraying a character.
The characters are meant to be realistic, so we'd just be wearing our own clothes to show we're just like normal teenagers.
Yeah, you say that, but you can't just say normal teenagers. What's a normal teenager? Marina's dressed very differently from, somebody else in the class, and Safi's dressed very differently to Adriana, so what's a normal teenager?
The social groups that we'll be focusing on would be like working class, so she wouldn't really have that. She would just dress like not normal, but like not like smart or anything, like just.
This is the problem with trying to describe clothing. Whereas exactly.
For example, like me, I'm a working class student. I'm not really in a middle class or like something like that because.
Yeah, but working class students wear different clothes too. So what would have helped are some pictures.
Oh yeah.
If you'd shown us what Safi would be wearing, there'd be no kind of ambiguity about what type of teenager she is. There's no such thing as a normal teenager. No such thing. Everybody's different, and everybody has a different style of dress. And the best way to show us how you're thinking about portraying your character is to actually show it to us through imagery. So you need to think about that as well, exactly how you are going to portray these characters. And finally, you'll be glad to hear, Arantxa lives quite far away.
Yeah, I know.
So in terms of filming during lessons, how's that going to work?
We could film scenes within the college during lessons.
Yeah.
And the other ones on the weekend.
Okay, so you need a production schedule that reflects that and says what you're going to be doing and when. But otherwise, yeah, a good idea, but you've got quite a bit to sort out before you're going to be able to film, and you've only got 2 weeks to film. So you are going to need to get together outside of the lesson and get your heads together and get this thing straight, get this idea straight in all of your heads so that you all know what you're doing. Okay, because it's not gonna come together magically. You have to make it work and make it come together. But otherwise, well done.